Good, excuse me, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Wherever you are, whenever you're listening, I do hope it's a good one. Thank you and welcome to Captain Trexie News. Now, we're going to start things off. Let's see here. We'll just go into this. Unfortunately, the story seems to be jumping around. After Netflix canceled Cowboy Bebop, YouTuber The Critical Drinker provides the five steps to kill a show, the television show, excuse me. Um, let's see if I can just find the damn list. Okay, here we go. Choose a victim. Pick a popular IP with a loyal franchise. YouTuber went on to detail the live action comedy. I mentioned the five steps. Step one, he touts Cowboy Bebop's original anime series, starring Cowboy Bebop, is seen as one of the most influential animes ever made, and it got extremely loyal fan base in both Eastern and Western markets. So if you're a greedy corporation looking to market profit from someone else's work, milk an existing IP fan base for all it's worth. Uh, Step two, of course, is totally fuck it up. Update it for modern audiences. Step two, he explained, it wasn't until 2021 that the first teaser images were released, and well, it didn't look good. None of the actors looked much like their anime counterparts. Least of all, Daniela uh, as Faye Valentine. Not only was she completely different height and build of the character, but instead of flamboyant and seductive outfit she wears in anime, she's now decked out in a dull fucking leather jacket and oversized shirt. Not exactly thrilling stuff fans were quick to pick up on. Let's see here now. Skipping down a little further. And of course, they don't have. Do a Ryan Johnson antagonize the fan base prior to release. Before moving on, step three, the critical drinker says is to clearly uh, the Faye Valentine was a bit of a sore spot for fans, but they ultimately just a minor aspect of the show. It probably would have been blown over if everyone had just kept their heads down and gotten on with their work. But no, of course, they had to open their mouths. Let's see, skipping down more. Bite the Dust got canceled due to low ratings. Moving to step four, the drinker notes that alienating a good portion of the fan base. It was no surprise that most of them didn't bother to tune in when the show finally released. Why would they bother? Everything that's being released nowadays, it's insulting the fan base. Why not? Uh, let's see here. There it is. Not my fault. Blame the fan base. Finally, the drinker gets to the last step, where he points to the show's overall script coordinator, Naomi Markman. He stares as soon as the cancellation is asked. cancellation was announced, Markman immediately took to Twitter to have a complete meltdown about the situation. He goes on to point out most of the tweets Markman wrote where she says, no, quote, not to rub it in your faces, but you're as individuals who treat Cowboy Bebop season 2 scripts uh, more than anyone else in the world. You're yeah, like you're missing out. Well, you know, um, it's your own fault. Sorry. That's just the way it is. And let's see here. Let's get on to the next story. This one comes from the Babylon Bee. 10 Christmas gift ideas for your left child. Number one is a brand new gender. New genders are so hot right now. We would urge you to grab one before they run out. But honestly, there are always more genders. Number two, allowance increase, followed by tax increase. This valuable lesson, will impart to your younglings the wisdom of found in pretending to give while you're actually taking. Yes. Uh, yes. Step three is battery powered police car to flip over and set on fire. Progressive children love to act out violently in the name of love. This flammable gift set is perfect. Yes, for your progressive child. I'm going to edit that somewhat. Crowbar and ride to Nordstrom. Unique experiences, most precious gifts you can give a child. This offers hands-on understanding of where progressive uh, policies have led. And let's see here. Number five is the Play School, Dr. Fauci Shrine. Turn your child's dresser into a sanctuary of, of reference toward the benevolent Dr. Fauci. These are flying off the shelves, so grab one quick. Number six, a Twitter account. Hey, your kid is never too young to learn the ins and outs of Twitter, including public shaming, cyberbullying, destroying careers, and contributing to a giant cancerous tumor of hate. Number seven is Vaccinate Me Elmo Doll. Oh, yes. You see the commercial for this toy? What a great commercial. Coal. This will prevent conservatives from it in burning it in power plants and destroying the planet. Yes. Uh, Number nine is Chairman Mao pop-up book. Let your children's imagination be filled with stories of the benevolent revolutionary who called for equality and fairness for everyone, besides the 80 million who died under his rule. And number 10, a whooping. Yes. let's see here. Well, let me go ahead. I believe I've gone ahead. Yes, I've gone ahead and come on, really got that taken care of. Was getting an echo. Could not figure out where it was coming from. Then I realized I forgot to mute my tab. Um, that of course is gets a little annoying. Um, there we go. Got to get something taken care of real quick. Yes, thank you for reaching out to me. And yeah, I'll get back to you on that as soon as we're done with the as soon as we're done with this. Um, all right, now on a more serious note, the destinations that forgot COVID are making a killing. Virus be damned. Skiing in Bosnia, sunning in Mexico, and sailing over the Canary Islands are just some of the options before, and of course, my web browser decides to go absolutely apeshit crazy. Just some of the just some of the options out there for those who are desperate to travel before the pandemic is over. Why does it keep going back to that browser? I don't want it. Uh, Needless to say, fine, I'm going to just shut this browser window. I don't know why it keeps wanting to pop up. Needless to say, there are many locations that you can go out there to find well, vacation outside of the U.S. and places that are not being held under these ridiculous restrictions because they actually care about people and money. So, needless to say, why bother? Now, let's get into this. 1 in 5 parents says kids eating more junk food since the pandemic began. Although many moms and dads say their family has enjoyed healthier meals since the onset of it, 20 admit being too stressed to cook. And one day in 6, they say their child consumes fast food at least twice a week, at least 1 in 6. Excuse me. The survey of more than 2,000 parents of the American children aged 3 to 18 was conducted by researchers at the University of Michigan Health CS uh, Mott Children's Hospital. While most all parents agreed that fast food is unhealthy for their children, more than 80% feel it is okay in moderation, according to the poll. 3 out of 4 parents also agreed with the statement that when stressed for time, fast food is a good family option. A third of the parents say that fast food is good value for the money, while almost 24% feel it is less expensive than making meals at home. Yeah, because it's not actually food, people. If you read any news stories about how that food is actually made, you'll realize that if there's a reason why it costs less. The next story is quitting smoking leads people to eat more junk food. A new study finds that one of the immediate side effects of giving up cigarettes is to crave junk food. Researchers from the University of Minnesota Medical School say they have discovered a brain link between a person's addiction to nicotine and poor eating habits. The study points to the opioid system, the brain functions which regulate both addiction and appetite, being responsible for smokers seeking out high calorie foods when they're suffering from nicotine withdrawal. It's a vicious cycle for people trying to quit, as junk food cravings can tend to weight gain. In turn, people can mm, push people to go back to smoking cigarettes again. Uh, the study appears in the Journal of Drug and Alcohol Dependence. And of course, after junk food, we're going to something a little more, well, nutritious. And I don't think my web browser likes me today. Of course, it does need to update, so that's probably why it's acting up. There's a scientific reason why kids dislike broccoli and cauliflower. Children, children and vegetables are not exactly a match made in heaven. In fact, parents will probably admit getting their kids to eat greens like broccoli and cauliflower and Brussels sprouts ca- can be next to impossible. Part of that is also dependent on how they're cooked. Not go there. Probably ought to just read the news story itself. Uh, let's see here. There is an actual scientific explanation for why kids dislike these vegetables. A team in Australia says younger taste may come down to the organisms in their saliva. The study finds the bacteria in their mouth can mix with certain enzymes in these veggies, producing an unpleasant and sulfurous odor. Specifically, uh, brass, brassica vegetables contain a compound called S-methyl. Really, blame the parents. Yes, that is one of the few. That's one of the things that this study recommends. It's likely for not even trying to serve it to their kids. Ironically, the study finds that parents should actually blame their own uh, if their kids don't like eating broccoli. Previous studies show that the levels of this odor-producing compound vary from adult to adult. However, parents and their children typically have very similar microbiome makeup in their saliva. Ah, and let's see here. I think that's going to be it for today. I do want to thank everyone for joining me. Let me do a little rundown of who's been here today and thank them for being here. Good morning, 47 Yorktown, and thank you for coming today. Uh, Good morning, Michael Garrick. Good morning, Six. Good afternoon, the Random Menace. Good morning, the brightest day. And of course, broccoli is my favorite food, says Six. Again, thank you for joining. And for all those listening on the replay, please like and share this out and leave a comment. Thank you and have a great day. Oh, and I'll be seeing you on the morning brew in under 10 minutes.